Hello students, and welcome to the next lesson in our AS Level Psychology course. Today we're going to look at the cognitive explanation of psychopathology. What is the cognitive explanation of psychopathology? Well, this approach explains that abnormal behavior is a result of faulty mental processes and thinking. So this states that rational thinking is normal, however irrational thinking is abnormal. Kendall, who's a psychologist, suggested that there are two forms of irrational thinking which can cause psychological problems which then result in abnormal behavior. These are cognitive deficiencies and cognitive distortions. Cognitive deficiencies. A cognitive deficiency is where a lack of sufficient thinking will affect behavior in maladaptive ways. For example, giving up in an exam after just failing one question. This happens when, perhaps, if you just fail the first question, insufficient thinking is going to make you think that that's the whole exam failed, and therefore you're not going to do it. Now, this is a cognitive deficiency because it's going to make you then behave maladaptively because of it, then spurring abnormal behavior. Now we'll look at cognitive distortions. A cognitive distortion is where the cognitive system does not accurately process all of the information it gets, and therefore this leads to maladaptive thoughts and emotions. For example, being scared of spiders because you think all spiders are 8 inches long and terribly poisonous. So as a result, this faulty mental process isn't going to accurately process what a spider really is and the kind of makeup of a spider, and therefore you're going to over-exaggerate it and will lead to a cognitive distortion which spurs maladaptive behavior. The cognitive triad. Beck, who was another psychologist apart from Kendall, said that the cognitive deficiencies and cognitive distortions could be attributed to abnormal behaviors such as that of depression. This will result in a cognitive error, and a cognitive error will occur when you're not thinking rationally about yourself, the future, and the world. This will then result into abnormal behavior. And these are the three kind of areas which are going to make up the cognitive triad, and it looks like this. We have irrational thoughts about yourself, about the future, and about the world. Now, there's a kind of linking process to all of these. If you're kind of dubious about one of them, if you have irrational thoughts about yourself, it's going to lead to you having irrational thoughts about the future, and then irrational thoughts about the world. So a cognitive error in one is going to lead to a cognitive error in all of them. Now we're going to evaluate the cognitive approach. Cognitive behavioral therapy, which is a therapy we're going to look at in our ways to treat abnormality in our next video, is proven to work. Therefore, it proves that the mental processes do actually play a part in abnormality, and it's not all physical causes. Also, the use of models in this approach helps understand the thought process, which is useful to perhaps open up research in other areas. However, it does tend to ignore biological influences, such as that of the biological approach to abnormality. Now, because of this, it kind of does like some scientific approach is kind of to it, and as a result, because of it being more theoretical, it's hard to kind of take seriously. Also, it doesn't consider the role of unconscious thoughts and just states that the thought process is all a conscious matter which you can control. However, there are unconscious thoughts and feelings or emotions which you can experience, which can perhaps lead to abnormal behavior as well. Also, it's a mechanistic view of human behavior, and actually human behavior is very complex. However, this is making it really quite simple, which is underestimating, I should say, how the human body really works. Here are some questions on cognitive approach to kind of abnormality and on distortions and deficiencies. Have a go at answering these on another sheet of paper by pausing the video, and then hit play whenever you're ready to see the answers. Here are the answers. If you did get all of these right, congratulations. I'd advise you to move on to the next video, which will be on cognitive therapies. As always, thanks for watching, and if you need any more help, be sure to visit the channel playlist or reviselevel.co.uk.